Imagine a time when the world was a vast, untamed wilderness. A time before sprawling cities, before highways sliced through mountains, before the hum of technology filled the air. This was a world ruled by nature, a planet teeming with life in its most raw and magnificent forms. Let's journey back, not just hundreds, but thousands, even millions of years. Picture North America, not as we know it, but as a great grassy plain, home to herds of woolly mammoths, their colossal forms moving like mountains across the landscape. Saber-toothed cats with dagger-like fangs stalked their prey in the long grass, while giant ground sloths, taller than a modern-day elephant, ambled through ancient forests. The skies weren't filled with planes, but with teratorns, giant birds with wingspans that could stretch over 12 feet. It was a world of giants, a real-life land of myth and legend. Now, let's travel across the oceans to the lands that would become Australia. Here, evolution took a different, stranger path. Imagine forests filled with giant kangaroos, some standing 10 feet tall, and massive wombat-like creatures called diprotodon, the size of a rhinoceros. Lurking in the rivers wasn't just the familiar crocodile, but also Megalania, a giant goanna, a predatory lizard that could grow up to 20 feet long. It was a unique and isolated world, a grand experiment of life that produced some of the most bizarre and wonderful animals that have ever existed. The oceans, too, were a different realm. Forget what you know about today's sharks. Dive into the prehistoric seas, and you might encounter the megalodon, a super predator shark that could reach 60 feet in length. Its jaws were so powerful they could crush a whale's skull. The waters were also home to mosasaurs, giant marine reptiles that were the apex predators of their time, and long-necked plesiosaurs gliding gracefully through the deep. These oceans were a terrifying and awe-inspiring theater of life and death, on a scale we can barely comprehend today. So what happened to this wild world? Climate change, volcanic eruptions, asteroid impacts, and the rise of a new clever primate all played a part. The ice ages came and went, reshaping continents and pushing many of these incredible species to the brink. The world we inherited is just a faint echo of that ancient, untamed wilderness. The fossils they left behind are like pages from a lost book, telling the story of a planet that was bigger, fiercer, and in many ways more alive. Looking at the world today, it's easy to forget this deep history. But when you walk through a forest or stand on a quiet shoreline, you're standing on ground that was once roamed by giants. The spirit of that wild world isn't entirely gone. It lives on in the DNA of every living thing, in the remote corners of our planet that remain untouched, and in our own sense of wonder. It's a reminder of how powerful nature is, and how important it is to protect the wildness we still have left. Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the past. Let me know in the comments which prehistoric world you'd most like to visit. See you next time.